सिडको महामंडळातर्फे आज पहिल्यांदाच 8 ऑक्टोबर 2021 रोजी सिडको इन्व्हेस्टमेंट अँड इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर समिटचं आयोजन करण्यात आलं असून नवी मुंबईमध्ये उपलब्ध असलेल्या गुंतवणुकीच्या विविध संधींविषयी या कार्यक्रमात चर्चा करण्यात येणार आहे। या कार्यक्रमात स्वतंत्र आणि समर्पित सत्रांमध्ये नवी मुंबईमध्ये यापूर्वीच ज्यांनी गुंतवणूक केली आहे असे गुंतवणूकदार, नवी मुंबई गुंतवणूक करण्याचे फायदे आणि नवी मुंबईमध्ये गुंतवणूक करण्याच्या उद्देशाने या समिटचं आयोजन करण्यात आलं आहे। या कार्यक्रमात नियोजित काळात विविध प्रकल्प पूर्ण करण्याच्या सिडकोच्या क्षमता आणि नवी मुंबईमध्ये सिडकोकडून करण्यात आलेली बांधकामं आणि विकास या विषयीच्या महत्त्वाच्या मुद्द्यांवर चर्चा केली जाणार आहे। तसेच नवी मुंबईतील आतिथ्य, आरोग्य, शिक्षण, क्रीडा आणि इतर क्षेत्रांचा विकास सुकर व्हावा याकरिता सिडकोने हाती घेतलेले विविध विकास प्रकल्प देखील या चर्चेचं वैशिष्ट्य असणार आहे। सिडकोने नेहमीच नवी मुंबईच्या सर्वांगीण विकासावर लक्ष केंद्रित केलं आहे। हे उद्दिष्ट साध्य करण्यासाठी सिडकोने अनेक महत्त्वाकांक्षी प्रकल्प हाती घेतले आणि नवी मुंबईतील जीवनमान उंचवण्यासाठी पायाभूत सुविधांचा विकास केला। महागृहनिर्माण योजना, नवी मुंबई आंतरराष्ट्रीय विमानतळ, नवी मुंबई मेट्रो, कॉर्पोरेट पार्क इत्यादी प्रकल्पांचं काम प्रगतीपथावर असून या प्रकल्पांमुळे नवी मुंबईतील पायाभूत विकास क्षेत्रात आमूलाग्र बदल घडून येणार आहे। तसेच सिडकोने शहराला उत्तम कनेक्टिव्हिटी लाभण्यावर लक्ष केंद्रित केल्यामुळे भावी गुंतवणूकदारांना गुंतवणुकीच्या उत्तम संधी उपलब्ध होणार आहेत।
Namaskar and welcome back to this discussion of Sitco Investment and Infrastructure Summit 2021. We were truly privileged and honored to have very distinguished speakers today in the opening session. The program had started today at 10 o'clock and will continue throughout the course of the day today. The basic objective of this Investment and Infrastructure Summit is to showcase the investment opportunities in the Navi Mumbai region. Very shortly, we will be honored to receive the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Shri Uddhav Thackeray, as the program chief guest. In the morning, the program chair, Dr. Sanjay Mukherjee, had given a very insightful talk on the various investment opportunities in the state of Maharashtra with reference to Navi Mumbai. We also had the privilege of hosting Mr. SVR Srinivas, Metropolitan Commissioner of MMRDA, and we also had the Principal Secretary Urban Development, Government of Maharashtra, Mr. Bhushan Gagrani, who gave us a blueprint of the urban development roadmap of the state of Maharashtra. Taking forward the discussions now, it's indeed a privilege and honor to welcome here an esteemed panelist. The next panel discussion, Navi Mumbai, the present and the future. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ashwin Mudgal, Joint Managing Director, Sitco Limited, Maharashtra. We have also with us Dr. Mahendra Kalyankar, District Collector and Magistrate, Raigad, Maharashtra. And we have Mr. V. Venugopal, Chief Planner of Sitco Limited with us. Welcome to the program, Mr. Venugopal. So to begin with, I would like to invite Mr. Ashwin A. Mudgal, Joint MD of Sitco, for his opening perspective on the topic Navi Mumbai, present and the future.
Good morning to all the esteemed panelists for this investment and infrastructure summit, which is organized by Sitco. I hope I am audible to all.
Yes, you are audible, Mr. Mudgal.
Yeah. So the topic for the discussion in this session is Navi Mumbai, the present and future. I am working with the organization, the Sitco, which has a motto of making the cities. We make city is the motto of Sitco. And it has got its own glorious history, which is basically creating the pathways for the future development of the growth and the directional approach in which the growth is basically going. When we talk about the present and future, we have to look into the history, how we got uh, at a particular juncture today. What are the milestones which we have already achieved, and in which direction we are basically going. So, as discussed in the previous session, also a brief history was discussed about the motive behind which the SIDCO was formed. I will not take much time on that, but it is required to have certain points to be discussed here in the history of the SIDCO, the motive behind which the SIDCO was formed. So basically, it was the primary motive is to decongest and to make a alternative city, so that the growth of Mumbai should not be hampered due to the nature of the restrictions which are there in the future growth of Mumbai. So basically, with this motive, SIDCO was formed in 1970, and it was formed as two distinctive features were taken into consideration while forming the SIDCO. One, that it is formed as a company under Companies Act. Secondly, it has given the authority under the Maharashtra MRTP Act, Regional and Town Planning Act. It has been given the status of New Town Development Authority. So basically, all the powers of acquisition of land and disposal of lands were given, and all the powers of planning in a particular manner was being endorsed and given to the SIDCO. So rest is history. SIDCO has created this Navi Mumbai city, which is, I believe, is the only, the largest planned city of India. And while developing this new city, SIDCO also ventured into different other infrastructure projects in state of Maharashtra and outside also, in Aurangabad, in Nashik, in Sindhudurg, and now in Palghar also. SIDCO is venturing into different heavy infrastructure projects, which will be giving more value to the overall economic activities. So these are the predominant reason, providing an alternative location and also providing a robust physical and social infrastructure for the future development. Now, at present also, the basic motive of SIDCO is to provide a robust infrastructure, not only in terms of physical infrastructure, but also in terms of social infrastructure, the human infrastructure, the skilling aspect of it, and also to provide a direction to the development by ensuring a great connectivity to Navi Mumbai and Mumbai. So there are a lot of projects which SIDCO has undertaken in fulfilling all these motives. As mentioned in the earlier session also, as we all know, major connectivity projects are being taken by the SIDCO. In past also, in future also, SIDCO is going to complete those projects. Like one of the prime project is Navi Mumbai International Airport. So Navi Mumbai International Airport is scheduled to be completed by the end of 2024. It's not only a major infrastructure project, but it will definitely change the whole face and socio-economic aspect of entire MMR and Maharashtra state as a whole. Basically, the paucity of aeronautical infrastructure is widely felt, especially in the MMR region, whereby only Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Airport has got some limited capacity and limited number of runways. So in this new international airport, there will be 2 runways and the ample amount of passenger and cargo capacity to cater the future demand, not only for MMR but the for future also. With this international airport, there are some great connectivity links also which are going to be established in future. One is the Navi Mumbai metro line. So CITCO has planned to develop these metro lines in 4 different phases. First phase is about to be completed in next year or so. We are going to start the phase one of phase one. Phased commissioning, we are starting from station 7 to 11 in next 2-3 months. Next important projects which already being taken by the other authorities is one of the important project is MTHL, which is providing the connectivity to South Mumbai to Navi Mumbai, and the overall time duration, which is now it is taking too much. It will be reduced to 20 to 25 minutes. So basically, the whole idea is to provide the connectivity, because connectivity always provide a robust thrust to the future growth of any place. It has been proven from the history of the world, from the history of the development, from the evolution, and it is true for Navi Mumbai and for any other destination also. Secondly, second major thrust which CITCO is providing, is working on, is to provide the is to increase the livability index, which we much nowadays talking about the livability of the cities. In a planned city like Navi Mumbai, with all social facilities available, with all open spaces, green spaces, and proper roads and other things, infrastructure where it is available. So the possibility of innovators coming in, possibilities of new ideas and new people coming in are increased manyfold as we compare to other such destination. So possibilities of future growth, possibilities of new ideas flourishing in Navi Mumbai are more as compared to other part of the country, because CITCO not only providing the physical infrastructure but the social aspect of it. As I mentioned in the previous remarks, that this NTDA feature of CITCO has got great independence in the planning aspect of it. So CITCO, if you see the Navi Mumbai overall plan, there are a lot of planning norms which are much more higher than as compared to other cities' DP development plan. In CITCO, the social infrastructure like hospitals, like schools, like other aspect of it, they are much more greater as compared to other part of the country and other cities. Moreover, CITCO is a major player or major stakeholder in the overall housing sector in Navi Mumbai right now. Almost CITCO is catering a particular niche segment in the housing in Navi Mumbai. We are basically targeting the lower income group and plus group in Navi Mumbai, and till now almost 150,000 houses are being constructed, and in future also almost 1 lakh houses are being provided by the CITCO through its mass housing schemes. Also, the business and investment would also require certain destinations, certain business districts. So overall planning of CITCO is like that only. The nodes and sector which CITCO developed in Navi Mumbai are like that only, that provide a single central business district and the arterial connectivities, which are provide a more kind of a vibrant nature of the development. So all these things are there in the development aspect and the planning aspect of SIDCO, and it has a very glorious past. And I'm sure with all these activities and future planning, it will be uh, not only more relevant in future, but it could pave the way for the new developments in the Navi Mumbai. Thank you for inviting me into this discussion. Thanks to the organizer.
Thank you, Dr. Ashwin Mudgal, for running us through the various initiatives being undertaken by SIDCO in Maharashtra and the Navi Mumbai region. Taking forward the discussions now, I like to invite Dr. Mahendra Kalyankar, District Magistrate of Raigad, to take us through the initiatives which are being run in his district. Dr. Mahendra Kalyankar. Dr. Mahendra, kindly unmute yourself, please.
Sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Good morning once again, and thank you very much for inviting me on this platform, basically which gives a district profile as well as a profile much beyond district, that is an enterprise which is heading our state, that is SIDCO. When it comes to SIDCO, it's such an old institution that no one needs to tell about what a Navi Mumbai comprises of. And now on the map, if you see the scene, because of the Navi Mumbai airport and the recent infrastructural developments, one can say that it's a digital age, and digital age has proven, with the help of all this transformed technology, SIDCO is really galloping at a large space. And on this occasion, I really congratulate Dr. Mukherjee sir for speedy developmental initiatives and his team also. In this very session, what Ashwinji Mudgal said and told about the SIDCO's new perspectives are really important, and I think the future will be nothing but New Bombay and the adjoining area. I also would like to talk upon one aspect, that is the third city which is going to be built, that is Naina. I think around, you must be knowing more than that above 18,000 plus hectares it will be coming. Maybe in a 3-4 years time or 5 years time, whatever. But Naina also is going to take a new shape, which will really enhance the advancing competitiveness in this global scenario. When it comes to industrialization, I think there are few states which really look forward for giving initiatives in subsidy and other things like land, water, tax rebates and all those things. But in this scenario, current scenario, I don't think Maharashtra especially is giving such tax rebates and all. And still, the industrial pace of development especially in this belt, Navi Mumbai, Pune, Ranjangaon, Chakan, is at a very higher space. That is what I think. Coming back to my district's profile, which I have to share with you, as all of you know, Maharashtra has a vast coastline of 720 kilometers, out of which 120 kilometers coastline is with the Raigad district. Northwest, we have Mumbai. Then again, Thane is the adjoining district next to Panvel. Then if you come downwards, Pune starts after Khalapur, Khopoli. So this is a place which is surrounded by all three major destinations you can think. This district is blessed by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's capital, which was earlier it was there, and it has forts as well as river fronts. That is, we have 4 to 5 rivers. Kundalika we have Savitri, we have Kal. Likewise, 5 rivers are prominent in this district. When it comes to the coast, as I told you, 122 kilometers coastline is visible, which again plays a very dominant role when it comes to the transportation sector. This district is blessed by all major concerns of transport. We have very well connected NH66, NH48, and all these major highways which flies from Mumbai to Goa. Then also we have different waterway modes. Our jetty, which is called as Mandwa, is exactly opposite to South Mumbai, and within 15 minutes of time, anyone can definitely come from Gateway of India, that is Taj, to Mandwa. So again, when we talk of this transportal commodity, we have coast which can very well serve the purpose of water communication. We have road connectivity. Because of coke and rail, we have rail connectivity. And likewise, because of all these 3-4 parameters, it's a very well connected district and very well connected base, you can say. And this enhances the very aspirational entrepreneur's dream, that is, you can very well sit in a place where you can handle your business. And because of this New Bombay area and the various sectors and nodes developed by CIDCO, we have a long pending residential accommodation, which is the prime concern for all the employees of this hub and industries. As all of us know, earlier any industrial houses used to build quarters for their employees. Now it is not the pattern. Earlier we have seen Godrej, Tatas and big houses, they had their residential accommodation for the people. Here in this sector, if you see, because of Navi Mumbai accommodativeness of the land and all everything, the prices are very well within the reach of the people. Mass housing can be developed. Because of the mass housing, again, there can be a lot of developmental activities. When we considered Raigad as a disaster-prone district, you have seen number of disaster come. There are landslides, there are floods, but now what we have done is we have taken care of all these things. We have all mitigation sources, so there is nothing to worry. The chemical zone in Mahad, there are many factories in Rasaini, there are many factories in Khopoli, Khalapur, there are many factories in Taloja, Roha. So what we are understanding is, in this near future, the people who have started their enterprises 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years back will be very much blessed by expanding their businesses, as well as they can start their own ancillary things. When we talk of industries in and around this MIDCs, which I have explained, like Roha is there, Taloja is there, Mangaon is there, Rasaini is there, we are sooner or later going to develop one food park also, drug park also, which will be coming into around 5,000 hectares of land through MIDC, and it is a project of 20,000 crores. Along with this MIDC project of drug park, there are many small, medium and big enterprises and enterprising according to MSME's report. MSME's report says we have around 3,000 to 4,000 total enterprises of this. To mention a few, we have particularly chemical, pharmaceutical and industrial good plants, like we have JSW, we have Reliance, we have RCF, even we have GIL, GAIL, then we have POSCO, which is again a foreign and Maharashtra government's initiative. So likewise, when we consider the distance from their plant and other market area as well as residential area, I think this is the best generating spot. And because of the New Bombay's CIDCO's infrastructure, it has enhanced its beauty, it has enhanced its accommodativeness, it has enhanced its competitiveness as well. When we talk about this digital age in near or future, Alibag basically is turning up a hub where we have oxygen plants too. So people also say it as an oxygen hub. We manufacture around 600 metric ton of oxygen here. So while speaking about the industry always needs a good infrastructure. Industry always needs a people-friendly atmosphere. Industry always needs accommodation for their employees. And I think all these three things are very well taken care by Sidco and Navi Mumbai area, which is again a development zone. Already I mentioned Sidco is the sector which is user friendly. Because of its user friendliness, its Maharashtra government's policy with the DIPP about ease of doing business is also in a progressive mode. Earlier, where we were, I need not mention, but now if you consider the ranking, we are 13. Last year in the EODB, we were 13. And positively, I think in the near future or next year maybe, we will be among the top 5. That is my wish also. So coming to this new infrastructure things, in Alibag, we have been sanctioned a 500 bedded hospital, 200 bedded hospital for medical college also. A naval base is already there. Education institutes are applying. As I mentioned, three things are very important for industry. Also, an educational hub is required, which gives a progressive fund for the employee circle, which we have. As already told along this, we have a definite medical this medical atmosphere. We have medical colleges, we have medical hospitals, we have medical fraternity which can take care of all this. In this epidemic also, I would mention, we did not have to rush for anything. Oxygen was there. Many of the hospitals were there. Only in the southern area of this district, we are little bit upgrading our infrastructure in health. Coming back to our ease of doing business, I think all the department, right from MIDC, that is industry, labor department, urban development department, again revenue department for granting the permission, everything has come to a very accommodative mode. So ease of doing business is playing a very vital role while enhancing all these infrastructure facilities and to give a suitable direction to all the entrepreneurs. So with this, I think there is a lot to comment and there is a lot to talk. But given a time limit, I think Sidco is doing best. And with this digital transformation and very good leadership, I think in the years together, in the years to come, in the future, we will definitely have a better urban infrastructure as well as industrial corridor, which will give a boost to the economy, not only just for the state, but also for the country, I think. With this comments, I stop myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mahendra Kalyankar. As you rightly mentioned, that there is so much to talk about the Navi Mumbai region investment opportunities that we are just running behind the schedule. And the next panel discussion is also for the information of all the viewers here, the delegates who have joined us from all over the country. The next panel discussion, which was supposed to start at 11:15, has been now postponed to 5 p.m. in the evening, because immediately after this panel discussion, we have the chief guest address by Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra. As rightly mentioned by Dr. Mahindra, that there is so much to talk about the investment opportunities in the region of Navi Mumbai. Despite having been given no major tax subsidies, all the investors are flocking to the region is a testimony in itself about the investment attraction of this region. Now, I would like to invite Joint MD of Sidco, Dr. Kailash Shinde, who is also the program co-chair, along with Mr. Ashwin Mudgal. Dr. Kailash Shinde, for your comments on this topic of Navi Mumbai present and future.
Good morning, everybody. As my colleague, Dr. Ashwin Mudgal and Dr. Mahendra Kalyankar has already spoken about how the Navi Mumbai's infrastructure, the soft infrastructure, social infrastructure, physical infrastructure, and the upcoming projects. Not only the Navi Mumbai area and its Naina area, which is in a Navi Mumbai airport influential notified area, and the adjoining part of the district that is in a Raigad district. How all these projects, these districts and area is being coming up as in a new destination and a new city as in a third Mumbai. In my today's discussion, I will speak more on what are the initiatives that we have been taken to provide the healthcare, education, and sports, that is an social facilities. Then I will speak about the what are the important mode of nodes and attract the housing industry, how we can do the water subject, because that is very necessary and important aspect in city development. And then what are our marketing strategy, how we are disposing our plots, and how we have been monetizing these assets to generate the revenue in order to cater the infrastructure and the development of the city. So first and foremost, in our planning, we had a very flexible planning, as we were talking about since early morning. Also, the Honorable VCMD has also spoken about this, and Principal Secretary Urban Development Department has also spoken about how the flexibility CIDCO has maintained the flexibility in their planning approach. So almost 6 to 7% of land are reserved in the for the social infrastructure, and basically then the health, colleges, schools, and day centers and cultural centers. As many of them are aware of, that there are four medical colleges are situated in the Navi Mumbai area, and now we are planning to establish a independent center of excellence as a health city in the new project also. And along with the health city, we are also planning to have an excellence center of excellence for in the education also, where the postgraduate institutes and other doctorate institutes will come up. They will set up their campuses here. We will provide the lands at the concessional rate, because the sports city also. So as you all aware of, we are anyway coming up with the center of excellence for the sports, and there are FIFA three pitches are already been ready. They will be put to use for the women's upcoming Women's FIFA World Cup. We have we are coming up with the shooting range also. We had a very good 9-hole golf course is spread over the 152-acre of the land, and now it is been upgraded very soon into an 18-hole international standard golf course, where we can have host international matches that can give another part. And we are also planning to have on the sports city on a 150-hectare of land, which has been identified as an excellent sports city, as an entire independent sports city. So all said and done, along with this, we are keeping a very huge area open for as playgrounds also, for the schools also, colleges also. Not only these school, health, and health city is being planned there, but we are catering to the other sector of the society, that is old age homes also there, daycare centers also there, enough spaces has been given. The destitute homes are also there, and then the places for the orphanage. All these things are being planned in the city while doing this. So all this social infrastructure which needs for any investments to survive, thrive into the city. When the population and the habitation grows up, the needs of the society has to be catered very effectively. And CIDCO is proven in their approach in supplying all these and providing all these best of the quality social infrastructure in the country now. What I can say very confidently on that part. And water is my earlier opening session also, Honorable VCMD and Principal Secretary has spoken about. So we are supplying a water till today. Now the 4 million population is the total Navi Mumbai area, which is the Navi Mumbai development projects. It's catering to this. And there are two municipal corporations. That is, one is the Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, and another is the Panvel Municipal Corporation, are situated within the Navi Mumbai project also. And there is one Uran Municipal Council is there, and it is spread over almost 95 villages of the in the Thane, Raigad, Thane, Panvel, and the Uran Taluka of the Raigad and Thane districts. So today we are supplying almost, we are catering to the 17 lakh population. Other is been taken care by the two municipal corporations. One is the Navi Mumbai and other is the Panvel. And their water demand, today's water demand is about almost 300 MLD is with the industrial population, industrial requirements. So we are supplying this water from we have a Hetavne water supply dam, is a water resource department dam. It is almost, we are getting in water almost 350 MLD from that source. Today we are drawing almost 150 MLD of water, and another 150 is being planned. Already water supply systems are being put in place. They are in the ongoing stages of the tendering, and all those things are there. Subsequent project is another water supply is coming from a Patal Ganga project, the Maharashtra Jivan Pradhikaran, that is catering to the supplying water to there. There is a Morbe Dam which was constructed initially for the New Mumbai area, Now it is been looked after by the Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation. They are also supplying the water to the Navi Mumbai and the CIDCO administered area. So we are supplying almost 135 to 150 liter LPCD is the water supply rate. And in the future, we have planned two dams, major dams. One is the Balganga dams and the other is the Kondhane dam. Both the dams, the Balganga will cater about 350 mld of water and the Kondhane dam will supply about 250 mld of water. And during the rainy season, we are envisaging to fetch the water from the on the river, which is flowing into to the sea. That two projects are also coming up. Both these projects, and we will be looking at the future requirement by 2050. Almost a 72 lakh population will be with the growth rate of 6 to 7% per annum with the population. We will be visualizing at the population by 2050 will be almost 75 lakhs. And to cater that requirements, we will be coming up with almost 1,000 MLD water supply projects that will be implemented in a phased manner. By 2025, the Hetavane water supply augmentation will be completed. By 2030, we will be targeting the Kondhane project, and by 2035, we will be with the Balganga water supply scheme also there. So it will cater till the water requirement till the 2050 also. So all said and done, but we require all this implementation of these projects. We require a huge investment, and the mode of the investment and the generation of the revenue. The one model is the land monetization model. So CIDCO is going up very transparent and effective land monetization model. All the plots are a very clear title plots. There are the acquired land. And initially, we have been given this land on a leasehold by up to 60 years. Now it has been 30 years. It's been renewable by another 2 terms by 30 years. So this land is free of from encumbrances. All the plots are very well demarcated, geotagged. Any investor can go on the website. They can go on the plot. They can visualize the plot dimensions also. We are putting the placard and boards on the information board on the plot size also. We are doing the fencing also of the plot. So there won't be any further issues in they are getting their possession when the agreement is being signed. So the developer will get plots very clear, encumbrance-free plots. Once the land is been disposed of very transparent and effective manner, that is an e-auction model is been we follow the e-auction model. There is a closed bid option also. So everybody is having a equal right and equal proportion to participate in the bidding process also. Once the plot is been allocated, the developer will get almost 4 years to develop these entire plots, and the development permissions are also being issued within the couple of months only. They hardly takes 2 months to get an entire development permission. There is hardly no more such permissions will be required. Only 4 or 5 required permissions will be there. The only thing the large majority time goes to the architect to supply their plans and everything. But it comes to the CIDCO level, then entire thing is been over within the next 15 days only. So development permission, CC, only the other water permissions, water connections, temporary water connections is there, and all other environmental clearances. They have to just to seek an environmental clearance if the project going beyond the 20,000 square meter, 20,000 square feet meter area of that. So all in all, the CIDCO is providing and catering to all the basic social infrastructures, and then the water is the very important component of the city development, and the land monetization model what we are following it, and it has been very proven since the last 50 years. There is no glitches in the allocation. There is no complications, no other post-sale or contractual obligations. No contractual issues has been come up. Very major issues has been noticed in the last 50 years. So I think this is a best opportunity for the investor to invest in the city. Now also we are floating many majority schemes. Today also we have floated almost 7 hectare of land from the Navi Mumbai Municipal Council area. Very soon we are coming up with the education sector, health plots also, and in future also in the Kargar, New Panvel, and all those nodes also we will be disposing of the lands for the land monetization. I think all the investors, I can assure all the investors that they will get a full support from the CIDCO. So they should invest it. I'm appealing everybody to invest in the CIDCO. This is a right opportunity to invest when the city is getting developed, because the new Navi Mumbai airport will be ready within the next 4 years. The South Mumbai will be connected by the MTHL. Water transport will be also getting connected. There is an independent DFCC, is a Delhi dedicated freight corridor corporation. It is connecting all the goods JNPT port till the Delhi. So all this infrastructure will definitely help in boosting the growth and infrastructure of this entire New Mumbai project. Thank you everybody for these opportunities, and I thank Elets and Mishra, my colleague Ashwinji Mudgal, Dr. Mahendra Kalyankarji, for giving their insight on the New Mumbai projects. Thank you.
That was Dr. Kailash Shinde, Joint MD of CIDCO Limited. Thank you for your kind perspective on this topic, Dr. Shinde. There are a couple of questions here from the audience side, but before we take those questions, I would like to invite Mr. V. Venugopal, Chief Planner of CIDCO, for his insight into this topic of Navi Mumbai, present and future. I would request Mr. Venugopal also to run us through the positioning of Navi Mumbai in terms of sustainability of investments. Mr. Venugopal. Mr. Venugopal, kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Good morning to all my panelists, and I also welcome all the delegates who are attending this summit of investment in infrastructure. Since I'm the last speaker, I've been dropped off all my points by my esteemed panelists, but still I would like to put certain things in perspective, which I think is probably missing in this thing. Now, when we say present and future, I would like to put the certain amount of benchmarking, what is the strength of the organization, what it has achieved now, and what is the options it is seeing in future, how it is going to position Navi Mumbai in the next coming a decade or so. As the organization has been formed in 1970 as a New Town Development Authority, this is a wonderful under the Companies Act. This organization has full powers to take decisions. It doesn't have to go to the government for every small investments, even the big investments. The board of CIDCO is extremely competent to take all the decisions of infrastructure financing. That is the first strength. Now, in last 50 years, if we see, as everyone knows, for a city to grow, city to multiply in its scale, infrastructure is very, very important. So when we completed a journey of 1.5 decades, we realized that we need to have a excellent connectivity with Mumbai, because this is on the mainland. So we need to have excellent connectivity with Mumbai, because only one connection was, road connection was there. So the board of CIDCO took a decision that rather than waiting for the central level to come and put their suburban railway as and when it feels required, CIDCO should move forward and bring the suburban railway. That was a huge decision CIDCO has taken, and put in 67% of investment upfront, so that the railways can come, suburban railways will come, and the city's infrastructure gets developed and city's growth will happen. So that was one of the master stroke which the organization took at that point of time, which has actually brought a city to this scale. The land values increased, and the core strength of the project was monetization of land. Because when CIDCO was formed, government was supposed to acquire the lands, but otherwise there was no funding from government, state government. Government said lands are going to be acquired, you have to create the infrastructure and create the entire city on its own. So land monetization was very important, and this suburban railway has brought the real turnaround for the project. That is the first part. Second part is that a city to survive, it should have a continuous and good quality water supply. And this is one of the first city in India which has put in its money for having a captive water sources. the Mobe Dam, Balganga Dam. These are the where CIDCO has put in its money to create the sources. Now it is again looking for some 2 more dams, Balganga as well as Kondane Dam. The government has allowed us to take those projects, so we are putting our money again so that CIDCO, the Navi Mumbai project, the Naina project, get a captive waters resource. So these are the water is one of the key resource required for a sustainable city to develop and survive. Third point which I would say is that when we traveled 50 years, and one more point I would say is that electricity. Though electricity, supply of electricity is the role of MSCDCL, CIDCO has made it a point that the city gets a good connectivity, good electric supply. We have allotted lands to the MSCB at a very, very concessional rates so that they can set up their 33 kV substations, 22 kV substation, and substation one step below also. So every township, every sectors of this city has these facilities so that the residents get the very uninterrupted and quick water, electric supply. Now, when we have traveled 50 years almost, now the situation has come, a beautiful scenario has created. Like MTHL is now has taken shape, construction is happening, and it is in a very fast track mode. It's happening. So it gives excellent connectivity from Mumbai to Navi Mumbai. Then we have a multimodal corridor which is coming from Virar, Alibag to going south to Alibag. Now this track will connect the entire suburban lines to the Navi Mumbai project. So excellent connectivity with the western suburbs is going to happen. Then we have metro happening. Metro we are going to launch. We will commission the metro in the maybe at the end of the December of this year, the first line. Then we have one more very good employment source here is JNPT, Jawaharlal Nehru Port. This is one of the biggest port. Now the JNPT is doubling its operations. So a lot of logistic related activities are going to happen in this area. So if you conclude all these things, almost the government infrastructure investment is coming to the tune of 1.05 to 1.3 lakh crores. The government investment is coming. So this is the right time that we should position ourselves. We should position Navi Mumbai in such a way that huge of private investment should also parallelly come in. It is not, a city will not grow only when there's a public investment. There's a parallel private investment also has to come. Now, where is the private investment has a scope in this project? Now, airport is coming. Airport is, the work on airport has almost started now. Then we have lands around airport where the airport related requirements will take care, like mixed land use, hospitality, then certain amount of warehousing, which is required in the proximity of airport. We have a city called Aero City, which is about 270 hectares, which is going to be developed in a phased manner of 5 to 7 years. So that is one of the very good source for investment for the private sectors to move in. Then we have a corporate park, which is about 150 hectares, which our managing directors introduced in the opening session. So that is one of the very good scope where the private sector investment can really move in. Then we are acquiring certain lands, about 700 hectares for logistic park, which is in the proximity of JNPT. So these logistic parks will take care. We are going to have international standard logistic parks there, so that it will have access to the JNPT port. Also, it will have access to the international airport, which is going to happen. And the fourth most important point is that then we are going to create a Medicity. We are going to give theme cities like education cities, where private sector investments can really pump in the next 5 to 7 years. So that is one area where we should look into that. Then CIDCO also has in the years improved upon its operational readiness. We have in the form of, if you see from the ease of doing business, from the point of transparency, we have did lot of changes in our systems. We have brought the entire CIDCO and SAP system. All our permissions, building permissions, what we call, are online now. So that the contact with the department gets reduced. One can have online submissions, online approvals. Then all our land-related matters, estate matters, transfers matters, sale of land, sale of property, all are now coming on the e-governance portal. so that there's a highest level of transparency and a minimum contact with the individuals to avoid any matter of corruption and all those things. So these are some of the issues which I think, and as you have rightly said, you're asking about the sustainability of the development, our economic investments. Then all the projects which are highlighted, like corporate park, aero city, logistic park, educational cities, these are not a 1 year, 2 year projects. These are projects which are going to sustain for next 8 to 10 years. So we'll have a huge amount of investment scope for the people to come. The city is having a captive population. It's not that we are opening up areas, investment areas in a city which is far, in a place which is far from the city. The city is already having a vibrant 2 million population existing, with all the social, physical infrastructure, highest standard of water supply, sewerage connectivity. Every plot has a water supply and sewerage connectivity. And then we have, so that is how the city has been built. That is how the city has been built. The highest level of road infrastructure is the excellent infrastructure. Therefore, if you see from sustainable point of view, we are having a horizon of next 7 to 8 years where the huge amount of infrastructure comes. We are upgrading ourselves for water supply requirements. The new dams which are going to come, Kondhane and Balganga, they are going to take care of the future development which is going to happen in this area. So with this opening remarks, I would like to
Thank you.
Thank the organization for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Venugopal. Before we conclude this session, because we are really running short of time, I would like to have some quick questions from Mr. Ashwin Mudgal. Mr. Mudgal, we have been talking since morning about the various investment opportunities in the region of Navi Mumbai. According to you, what could be some of the major bottlenecks in this investment? Some key challenges which you are foreseeing, which can impact the development of Navi Mumbai?
I think the key challenges would be to channelize the investment in a proper perspective. We are talking about a lot of opportunities which are available in the Navi Mumbai and the areas where CITCO is doing the development works. So the investment, as we said, that these infrastructure projects are having long gestation period. So investment and infrastructure financing and different models are having a very much important aspect in channelizing the investment into region. This is one thing which I think that some more work and some more innovative ideas needs to be worked upon. Secondly, Navi Mumbai being a coastal city, also having some issues with regard to the environmental aspect. So while development is taking place, the environmental aspect should also be taken care of. That I don't foresee as a challenge, because up till now in the journey of CITCO is always taken care of these aspects into consideration. What I see that with the improved connectivity, there are ample opportunity available in the Navi Mumbai area, and it would be a kind of a multi-bagger opportunity for all the investment which is coming in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Ashwin Mudgal. As you rightly said, that we need to address certain challenges regarding environmental issues also. If we see it's a very strange paradox that development and safeguarding and conserving the environment both are contradictory to each other. If Dr. Mahendra Kalyankar is there and would like to comment on this, how do we balance the development and environmental concerns?
A very important question you have raised right now. As far as NGT is concerned, environmental aspects are concerned, the changing climatic zones we have concerned, depletion of ozone we are concerned. And as I have rightly mentioned while talking that our district is a disaster prone disease. All Konkan belt is having landslides, floods and all this. And there is a say among the people of even Raigad that because of bridges and the rising banks along this national highway zone has caused floods. There are many aspects which are needed to be studied in detail. But to balance and the counter effect of all this infrastructural development, I don't think there is any problem. Likewise, when the JNPT came, there was mangroves areas which needed to be restored, and government has very well, including the JNPT and SIDCO, has very well funded money, and we have grown mangroves elsewhere. The concern raised regarding environment these days is a lot because of this changing climatic scenario and changes. But we can address it very well with the help of scientific knowledge and artificial intelligence also, by planting the mangroves through drones and all those things. A very well studied, categorized behavior can equalize this process of balancing the environment also. When we talk of balancing with the environment, we have to definitely think of the changes we need, an industry needs to, or an investor needs to face in this changing scenario, and responding to COVID also. So not only environment, we need to, in the changing scenario of laws and everything, we need to balance all those aspects also, which are secondary in nature. But primarily what you said is very right. But taking the help of science and artificial intelligence and technological advances, we can very well address the issue.
Thank you, Dr. Mahendra. Mr. Vedugopal, Dr. Mahendra in his opening comments had mentioned a very interesting point that despite the state giving no such major incentives, all the investors prefer to flock to the region. So according to you, Mr. Venugopal, what is this single most important factor which makes all the investors run to this region for investments? Please unmute yourself.
If I talk about Navi Mumbai, once an investor comes in, the most important concept about important factor for him is land. So land is given to him free of encumbrances. The infrastructure is given by the authority. The road infrastructure and the engineering infrastructure like water supply, sewerage, they are all given. So though investor need not have to run around for the getting those from different authorities and different departments. So that is one of the very excellent reason one investors would like to look into that, because they doesn't have to run around for other things. The second important factor would be that the area has a proximity. The area is extremely well connected. The New Bombay per se is extremely well connected with Mumbai, with the Pune, with the and now it's going to be connected with the western suburbs. And then the international airport is going to come within the city. It is not coming 60 kilometers away from the city. It is coming within the heart of the city. So the connectivity is one of the key reasons which people would be finding it attractive to enter into these areas.
Thank you, Mr. Venugopal. We have completely run out of time now. I would request Mr. Ashwin Mudgil to please summarize the wrappings of this interesting panel discussion.
Thank you, Krishna ji, for this very interesting discussion on the present and future of the development of Navi Mumbai and role of SIDCO. We have discussed very in a detailed manner about the opportunities which are available in the Navi Mumbai for future investors to venture into different parts of Navi Mumbai. SIDCO, as a commitment, has provided the social infrastructure, the progressive physical infrastructure for the future, which will not only provide a livable city, but also provide ample employment opportunity and promising commercial real estate market. So SIDCO is working in this direction, and in future also we are committed to work in this direction also. I would like to thank all the panelists and Elets Technomedia Private Limited for organizing this beautiful panel discussion. And it's over to you, Ishan.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ashwin Mudgal, Joint MD of Sitco Limited. We also had the pleasure of hearing the perspective of Dr. Mahendra Kalyankar, District Magistrate and Collector, Raigad District in Maharashtra. We also had another joint CMD of Sitco, Dr. Shinde, who gave us the blueprint of the growth opportunities in the region. And we also had Mr. V. Venugopal, the Chief Planner of Sitco Limited. One important announcement I would like to make here before we get into the next session, which is the chief guest address by Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra. All the delegates who have joined us from the length and breadth of the country, the next panel discussion, which was supposed to start at 11:15, titled "What Makes Navi Mumbai an Ideal Investment Destination for Developers." This panel discussion we would be having at 5 p.m. because of constraint of time. Despite best of our intentions to limit this speeches, it is just not possible because of the plethora of opportunities in this region. So with this, I would like to request my team at the back end, before we actually conclude this session, to kindly present the honorable speakers with their certificates. This token of gratitude from Elets Technomedia team to Mr. Ashwin Mudgal, Joint Managing Director, Sitco Limited, for taking out his time and sharing his perspective on the topic. The next certificate for Dr. Mahendra Kalyankar, who gave us very enriching insight about the opportunities in this region with a particular reference to the Naina investment region. Thank you, Dr. Mahendra Kalyankar, District Collector and Magistrate, Raigad, Maharashtra. We had Dr. Kailash Shinde, Joint MD of Sitco Limited, Maharashtra, who gave us a detailed blueprint of the growth opportunities in the Navi Mumbai region. Thank you, Dr. Kailash Shinde, for taking out time and sharing your perspective. And finally, we had the Chief Planner of Sitco, Mr. V. Venugopal, who took us through the sustainability angle of investments in the Navi Mumbai region. Thank you, Mr. V. Venugopal. With this, we come to the conclusion of this panel discussion. And let me again remind all the delegates here who has joined us virtually from across the country, including foreign locations also, that the Chief Minister's session will start sharp at 12:30. We'll be there back with you in 15 minutes of time. Please remain hooked on. Thank you and best wishes.